A lot of new traders start on the path that they should be on. However, because of a few things they do wrong, they're actually setting themselves up for failure before they get started. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So as I alluded to in the introduction, a lot of people get on this path, and it is the path that you want to be on, but you want to make sure that you're navigating this path the right way, or else you truly are setting yourself up for failure. And today we're going to talk about paper trading. And if you're familiar with myself or the community at all, I'm sure you've heard this topic before because it really is important. However, it's important if you do it the right way, because if you don't, again, you're setting yourself up for failure before you ever really even begin. And what is paper trading? Maybe you're not sure what that means. Paper trading is just a fancy word for practice. You're practicing trading, whether that be Forex or options or futures or stocks. It's just a form of practice. And I'm sure you've heard of the, quote, practice makes perfect. Well, that's actually one of the worst quotes out there. Perfect practice makes perfect. Because if you're practicing the wrong way, then the results are not going to be what you want. And in trading, there's two types of reality. And that's what I want to focus on here. So we have reality, and then we have reality. Now this reality is going to be the paper trading reality, but in the Western Hemisphere, we all read left to right. We pick up a book, left to right, left to right. However, when you're setting up this and setting up your paper trading plan, you actually want to do the exact opposite. You want to go right to left. Because over here is reality when you have actual money on the line. That's about as hardcore reality as you can get because, again, your hard-earned money, you could lose it. But you also want to have reality in paper trading, meaning you want paper trading to be like your actual trading. But this is where a lot of people stumble. They are paper trading, so in their minds are like, hey, that's really good, you're paper trading. And I would agree, that is good that you're wanting to paper trade, that you're wanting to practice. But if you're not doing it the right way, it's just not good. It's actually very damaging. So what do I mean by this? How can we, why right to left? Well, there's some things that you need to consider. First, you want to ask yourself, all right, so when I'm using real money, am I going to be going long or short? And if you say, I'm going to be going short, then what do you think I should fill in over here? Should I put long in over here? Well, you'd say, no, that makes no sense. If you're going to be using a shorting strategy with real money, why would you start practicing with long? Exactly. Power of going right to left. Too many people start over here and they say, yeah, I'm going to go long. And then all of a sudden, before they know it, they get going with real money, and then they start doing something completely opposite. So if you're doing short over here, right to left, then yeah, you want to make sure that when you start paper trading, you're going short. And keep in mind, before you even start, so before you start paper trading, you better be filling out this column over here in terms of what are you actually going to be doing with real money. The next big one, and this one is huge, I see it all the time, the size of your account. So what is the size of your account going to be? If the size of your account is going to be $5,000, then what do you think you should be practicing with over here in the paper trading reality? Hopefully you're saying, well, if in the reality you're going to be using 5,000, then you should probably be practicing with 5,000. Exactly. It's so much easier going right to left. Way too many people, like I said, their actual account size is going to be 5,000, but then they're like, oh wow, this simulator that I can use, this paper trading platform, it lets me have a $50,000 account. Sweet, I'm just going to go with $50,000. Well, $50,000 to all of a sudden $5,000. Is that a smooth transition? Is that practicing what you're actually going to be doing? No, it's not. And then people are going, why is this so much different? I was doing fine when I had $50,000, but when I go to 5,000, well, 50 to 5, not the same thing. So over here, you're going to know, well, I need to be doing $5,000 because if that's going to be the reality of the situation. The next thing, size of orders or positions, however you want to look at that. And a great real life example of this happened not that long ago as of the recording of this video in the chat room. Somebody said, over here I was doing, well, they actually went left to right. They said, I was practicing with with 2 contracts. And then when they went to actual reality, they went to one contract, and their logic was, well, by using one, my risk is less than using two. That is true. Your risk is going to be less, but that's not a smooth transaction. In the paper trading reality, to be practicing with two, and then all of a sudden going to reality, you're only having one contract. That's not the same. That's not a smooth transition. You need everything to be the same. So if you are saying, you know what, we'll just use options, for example. You say, you know what, in reality, I'm going to be using five contracts. Well, what do you think the number over here should be? Should it be 3? Should it be 7? Should it be 15? Hope you're saying, no, you bozo, it's 5. If you're going to be using 5, use 5. Exactly. Right to left. Too many people go the other way, and then they don't have a smooth transition. Remember, this area right here, no, this is the transition zone. So it's kind of like rough waters. I don't know why I'm using pink if it's water, but a lot of shadiness, So when you transition over here, you need to make this as smooth as possible as you go through that transition zone. And then another one, time frame. So what time frame are you going to be looking at? If you're saying, you know what, I'm probably going to use the daily chart. Cool. So what do you think you should be practicing with? The 15-minute chart, the weekly chart? Hopefully now you're going to, come on, I get your point. Yeah, then you should be practicing with the daily chart. Smooth transition. We got to get through this pink water as safely as possible. And then finally, just simply your strategy. If you are saying, you know what, I think I want to become a momentum player. I want to play momentums, or maybe I want to try to play bottom bounces, whatever it is. So if you want to do, let's just say momentum, so momos, over here, should you be practicing breakout buying? Should you be practicing, bottom bounces? Should you be practicing no, you should be practicing, well, Momo. Way too many people, they start here, they say, you know what, I don't really, because they don't think where they want to be. They don't reverse engineer. You want to reverse engineer your process. Now, does this mean that you're for sure going to use 5 and for sure? No, it might not, because you might start using 5, and then when you're on paper, you're like, holy, this 5, this is too much. Well, then you can at least adjust this and, kind of mold things to what actually is the reality of the situation. But you should be starting off here. When you first start, all this is going to be a guess. So make as good of an educated guess as you can get, because you're not sure, but then practice that way. You don't want to be guessing over here. You want to be saying, well, yeah, I think I want to use 5, and then you go over here and you use, something else, and it's just not reality. So yes, at first it's a guess, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. So at the end of the day, 2 types of realities, right? We have the paper trading reality, which needs to match up with the reality of actually having money at the line. And the best way to match those up so you get the smooth transition through the paper trading money to real money is right to left. Start off over here where you think you're going to be, and then make sure that's exactly how you're practicing. Maybe this seems basic. Maybe I'm stating common sense to you and you already had plans to do this. If that's the case, awesome. But I will speak from a lot of experience. A lot of people are not doing this. They are paper trading one way, and then they go to real money, and then it's something different. Even if it's just, again, to our example, practicing with 2 contracts and then going to 1. I realize the risk has gone down because this position size is smaller, but it's not the same. Using 2 and then using 1, that's getting discombobulated here, in our pink water zone, in the transition zone, and that's not what you want. So keep that in mind as you get out there. Keep reality in close to line with paper trading reality as possible, and I'm just going to repeat it one more time, right to left. Start off where you think you're going to be, where you want to be, and then practice that way. That way you're not just doing, apples and oranges. Apples and oranges is not good. You want apples to apples. So keep that in mind as you pursue your trading and as you practice, because again, practice does not make perfect. If you're practicing poorly, well then you're going to get poor, inconsistent results. You want to make it as realistic as possible, both in paper trading. That way when you do get real money on the line, you feel more at ease and you feel more comfortable. So any comments, questions, as always, leave those below. Click that like button. Hopefully this video helps you out. And if you do want me to keep making these, definitely click that like button. A little click of the mouse goes a long way in letting me know that you're finding these valuable and helpful. So get out there, paper trade the right way, and trade without emotion.